Yo, what is going on, guys? Snoozman coming back at you guys with another YouTube video, and today we're actually going to be talking about what causes upgrade challenges here in Madden 21 franchise, and we're going to dive right into it, guys. And honestly, coming down to it, it's going to be a lot of younger players that are actually going to get this. Obviously, a lot of older players are actually going to hit the decline very heavily. Someone as good as Khalil Mack, as good as he is, he's going to hit a certain decline and probably hit superstar at least at the end of his contract, or at the end of remaining of his contract. So he has like 5 years left. And if we
This
tap
player
on him,
has a zone ability. This is a
if
powerful
we tap
ability.
on him, he has, he's 29. So by like 34, you're going to see him hit. He's going to drop a dev 100%, and he's going to lose all that. And that's because he's already up there in age. He's already 29 years of age. Now, as you guys will notice, somebody like Cordell Patterson already has it. Again, he's probably going to not see anything above that. He is 29. He, at this point, will hit a decline as well. Um, Now, somebody like Mitchell Trubisky, who is only 26 years of age, now he actually is kind of getting up there at this point. 26 isn't very old, but in Madden terms, you hit that 27 to 30 range. That's when, at least when you hit that 27 years old range, it's going to be very hard for, and it's not impossible. It's going to be very hard for Mitch, though. He's going to have to do it really in this year. So for Mitch, he's going to have to really step it up this year and better his stats. So if we look, at his like prior stats from like, last year, you guys would see him probably maybe get a dev. But again, quarterbacks, I'm going to go into this and talk a little briefly. It would be kind of hard for Mitch at the same time, because here's the thing. Dev upgrades for quarterbacks and offensive linemen are actually pretty hard as compared to running backs and receivers. Receivers and running backs are going to have it really easy. Defense, it depends on that. There's never a rate of consistency when it comes to dev upgrades. I know secondary progresses very well if they're young. So someone like Jalen Johnson, who is very young, who's very good, who's emerging, is going to get probably a dev upgrade, in the future if he continues to better his stats over and over, year in and year out, and he's just posting nice numbers, very nice numbers, compared to other cornerbacks in the NFL, and he's ranking himself way up there. Then he is going to get a really nice dev upgrade. So someone like David Montgomery is a perfect example of someone at 23 years of age and at least 4 years of room to at least get that from a star to a superstar, and being a position to have a lot of room to grow in the development process. So he has a really high chance of going to superstar development. And a lot of this is determined if I back out of this, guys. If
Start
you
the regular season by selecting your season goal.
if we go over to um, what would this be? It would be actually stats, guys. We go over to the stats, and you guys can have the full breakdown of all this stuff in the individual stats. But what's actually going to be really interesting is the team stats. A lot of this is going to feed from the certain players, like your secondary and defense, and like your receivers and running backs on offense. So if you're really high in these categories, that's going to give your team morale a huge boost, and at least a player or two dev upgrade in certain time in the future. Now I'm going to back out of this again, and another huge way I could seriously give you guys a major tip in dev upgrades is this. Now this one tip is going to be very huge, because actually a position swap that's not really unfamiliar for that player can get a huge dev upgrade. So let's say we take someone like Tayshaun. Well, I mean, all these guys are pretty bad at strong safety, but let's say we had a very good strong safety that's young, very young. Um, Even someone like Tremaine Edmonds from the Steelers, who probably has a normal dev. He's normal development, and at this stage we're looking to get him to a star development, you'd actually take him, and we'll use Tayshaun Gibson as an example, even though he's up there in age. I know he's 30, yeah, he's 30 years old. He's not an example. He's an example for Tremaine Edmonds because I'm on the Bears right now. But take you take a Tremaine Edmonds and you actually put him as your sub middle linebacker. Let's say over Joel Iegbunaway, and he actually becomes an insane force and a stud. And then at that point, he's actually going to reach star. Don't even be surprised if he reaches +2 development and within 5 years because of how fast he's growing, because he's a hard-hitting guy, and that ranges very well from him as a nice user even, and he can be very nasty, and he can go to star development, maybe superstar development, not very long in the course of years here, and that can be huge for you guys and your franchise on that dev upgrade. So much for as of offense. It's a little harder because you can't really do anything with offensive linemen. Tight ends, you can do that now. You'd have to think of faster tight ends though. So someone like Darren Waller, who came out of Georgia Tech as a receiver, got drafted to the Baltimore Ravens as a receiver, would be a perfect example of moving him over, because that's actually his natural position he got drafted at. Someone like Travis Kelce wouldn't be terrible. Somebody like, you have to go down the list of faster athletic tight ends out in that list. But Evan Ingram is another great one because he has like about 90 speed and he can burn it. You can easily put him at receiver. He can be like a number 4 for you, and his dev upgrade can go. It can shoot up really fast for you guys. With running backs, you can also do this. So someone like I'm not sure if someone like Alvin Kamara actually has a superstar X Factor yet. I'm gonna go check for you guys. But you guys are gonna get to the point of what I'm trying to say here with this. Saints. Go to the Saints real fast. And okay, we'll view player card for. Okay, so Alvin Kamara is a superstar dev of 88 overall and 25 years of age. If you move him to receiver, which he's honestly a prototypical receiver playing running back, you move him over to receiver, I'd say within a few years you're going to hit that dev upgrade challenge, and that'll give you probably an X factor because he's balling out, and you have to hope at least, through sim or you playing and just dominating with him, that he progresses and does better than his prior years and is putting up massive numbers that compare that stack well over other competitors in the MVP race. And that's another thing that I want to get into, is not even just team statistics and individual statistics, but it actually comes down to, can these players get into the top MVP race? So being young and all of that, and then working your way into a top MVP race, is actually going to solidify a huge spot for their progression history and getting a big dev upgrade. So we go into stats, guys, and if we were to go into awards, and now it's not available because I am in a regular season week 1, but if I were to go to the end of this, you guys would end up seeing, at the end of the season, if your player that you're really focusing in on trying to get that dev upgrade, he's right there for the awards and he's up there in the top, or let's say he's a rookie, or even just a solid player that you really are trying to get up, and he gets top 10 in offensive player of the year, or top 10 in defensive player of the year, DPOY, and all that. So that would that would be a major chance and a high percentage chance that he would get a dev upgrade. So those are really the main tips I have here for today. Hopefully you guys honed in on that, and hopefully guys you can build your franchise off of that. And if you guys did like today's video, make sure you guys are leaving a like and subscribing. We are 1 subscriber away from my goal at 20. I really wanted to hit it by the 15th, which is today, so if we can get that one, that would be much appreciated. But that'll do it for today, guys, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in the next one.